Hello, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Stories of Great Christians. We've been listening to the series of William Borden, and he's a young man, and he's kind of gone into the world for adventure, but he does leave his mark on the world, even though he's around a short time. We're almost halfway through. We're in chapter 10 today, so let's take a listen. When you're done, if you have a question or you have a comment, feel free to leave it. In the meantime, take a moment, perhaps get your cup of coffee for a friend. I don't know, maybe your favorite cup. And either coffee, hot cocoa, hot apple cider, whatever. Pull up a chair, listen together, call a whole group in, community or so. Do me a favor, all of you subscribe. Thanks. Let's take a listen to William Borden, chapter 10, I believe. Let's see here. Coming up on it. And here we are.
Dear Mother, I have just been reading over some of your letters and enjoying them so much. I do not expect to get any more until we reach Cairo. Walt and I have Bible study together every day when possible, and I enjoy it very much. He is able to point out many things that are new to me, and I am beginning to see what a wonderful storehouse of good things the Bible is. I pray every day that God will take my life into His hands and use it for the furtherance of His kingdom as He sees best. I have so much of everything in this life, and we have seen so many millions who have nothing and live in darkness. I don't think it is possible to realize it until one sees the East. I know it is no easy thing to serve the Lord, but others have been unable to do so, and there is no reason why I should not.
We greet our friends everywhere with Chapter 10 of This One Thing I Do, the story of William Borden. This is another in the series, Stories of Great Christians, and comes to you from the Moody Bible Institute in Chicago. William Borden lived a full and rich life in his short 25 years. On his trip around the world in 1905, after seeing much of the Orient, Rome seemed almost like home.
The Eternal City.
That's right. That's what they call Rome, isn't it?
This ancient city has been the capital of the world, still is the religious capital of the world for a great many people.
Well, for once we're in the city I know a little something about. You can't go through even 1 year of Latin in school without getting to know Rome.
Isn't it great to get back to civilization again? This almost looks like home compared to the strange places we've seen.
Almost. This letter I received from home tells me what they're thinking about, getting one of those new automobiles. That's about the only thing that's missing right here, isn't it?
I'm just as glad. Have you ever had your ears blasted off with the sound of one of those things?
I'll admit that the coolies in the Orient are a whole lot quieter than...
And the elephants in India are a whole lot smoother to ride.
Yes. Oh, there's so much to see here in Rome. Where does one begin?
Well, I must say, Bill, you certainly have changed during the course of this trip.
Change?
When we first started out in Hawaii, Japan, even China, you were always ready to ride things and do things, but never very interested in seeing things. You've become quite a tourist.
Maybe I'm just getting the feel of this traveling. What do you say we start all over again, huh?
Right. Just as soon as we get back to America, we'll pack a new set of luggage.
I am going to start out again, Walt, someday.
You sound serious.
I am. I can't get those poor people in the East, places like China, off my mind. I told you I knew God had called me to be a missionary. Well, I'm almost positive that it will be in the East.
We'd better let the effects of this trip wear off a little first, Bill. Some time to...
You sound like my father.
What's that?
Well, this letter I received from home must be an answer to the one I wrote about becoming a missionary.
Oh?
Mother's overjoyed, of course, but my father thinks it might be wiser if I waited until I'm 21 to make any kind of lifetime decision.
You might have a point.
He would have one if I were making the decision, Walt. But God is planning this one.
All right, Bill. Maybe you're right. Maybe this whole trip was designed by God to give you the necessary background for such a decision.
I'm sure of it, Walt. I'm sure that's why I was so affected by the religions we've seen in action and the great need everywhere.
Well, Rome ought to cheer us both a little. This is a city with a lot of ruins of dead religions.
That's right. Great men like St. Paul and the early fathers helped to expose and kill them. You're right, Walt. Rome should be cheering.
It's hard to picture how beautiful it must have been at one time, isn't it?
Yes, but not how large.
Just thinking how strange it would seem to a Christian of the first century to hear another Christian call the Colosseum beautiful.
Now, how many Christians were killed here by lions?
I don't know. It was an all-out effort to rid the world of the followers of Christ. And yet, here we are, centuries later, Christians looking at the ruins of one of the greatest empires in all the world.
Remember, it says in the Bible, "And thou, Lord, in the beginning hast laid the foundation of the earth. The heavens are the works of thine hands. They shall perish, but thou remainest. And they shall wax old as doth a garment, and as a vesture shalt thou fold them up. They shall be changed. But thou art the same, and thy years shall not fail."
Yes. This is a good place to stand and see in some measure the continuance of the Lord. Neither Rome nor any other government of man can hope to overthrow the King of Kings.
Hurry up, Walt. We don't want to keep Mrs. Ames waiting.
Or her daughter, huh?
I don't understand what you mean.
I was once a young man there myself, Sonny. I know what you young whippersnappers think.
Wasn't it wonderful to run into other Americans?
And especially in such a delightful setting as Venice.
You know, we really only met a couple of young American girls on the whole trip. As far as I'm concerned, there's nothing like them. The French or German or English, they just aren't in it.
Well, now listen to your older and wiser traveling companion, my friend. Tonight, when we join Mrs. Ames and her daughter in the gondola, don't you go overboard.
What do you plan to do when you get back to America?
Well,
Mr. Erdman?
excuse me.
Well, my plans are indefinite as yet. We didn't know for certain how long this trip around the world would last, so I couldn't very well make any definite commitments.
I suppose you still have college to go through, Mr. Borden.
Yes, ma'am.
Then you haven't made any plans at all, I suppose.
Oh, Bill has pretty well decided to prepare for mission work.
Oh, Margaret's on appointment to India right now. We're on our way from here.
India? Wonderful. What a need there is there.
It's terribly needy. Were you there?
Yes, pretty well shocked by what we saw. I know you were prepared for a hard job, Miss
Margaret.
Margaret.
I thought tonight it might be fun to hear the concert on the Grand Canal. They're playing Strauss, you know. It's quite easy to get to from here, and we can sit in the gondola to listen.
Sounds nice.
Fine. Then we'll do it. My, it certainly is beautiful music, isn't it? I think it's very romantic.
Looks like some of the others who floated out here to hear it think so, too.
Oh, do you think it's right to look at them?
Hard not to.
You do have a point there. We could always leave, of course.
listen to your older and wiser traveling companion. When we join them in their gondola tonight, don't go overboard. And just to make sure you don't, I will.
You almost sound jealous, Bill. I can't help it if she liked the more mature type. Besides, I didn't do anything to encourage her.
You didn't do anything to discourage anything either.
You're starting to really sound upset there.
Well, I guess I was. Walt, there was so much I wanted to tell that girl. She's on her way to India. And neither she nor her mother has any idea of what they're walking into. The way her mother talked, this was one fine picnic, while her daughter did her bit for the world.
I wouldn't be too hasty, Bill. Maybe it just seemed that way.
There's so many wrong reasons for becoming a missionary.
Well, that's very true, but about the only thing a fellow in your position can do is to make sure your reason or reasons are right.
Well, there's only one right reason, Walt. You know that as well as I do. The call of God. The direct command from God himself. I don't think all the humanitarian or sentimental or adventurous reasons in the world are enough to keep a missionary on the field very long. Without the call of God, the whole business loses everything. I am strengthened, knowing that you are praying with me in this, Mother. I have been reading Mr. Spear's book on missionary principles and practice. It's very good. I don't think I want to go to a seminary, but thorough Bible study is what I do need. As Dr. Torrey says, it's much more important and profitable to know what God has to say on a subject than what men have to say. France has been fun and interesting, and I have learned to drive an automobile in the school for chauffeurs. We've saved the last month of our trip for England.
This will only cut at the most a couple of days off our England tour. And, you did say that you'd like to try mountain climbing sometime.
That's right. Let's see, when we were looking at that magnificent view in the Himalayas, what an unforgettable scene.
We'll see how unforgettable this little side trip is. From where we get off our train, I'm told it's about a 2-hour walk to Engelberg. Should find lodging there for the night. And tomorrow we'll go for a climb into the Swiss Alps.
Walt, what a trip this has been, huh?
For both of us.
I feel so mixed up at this moment. I mean, I'm eager to go mountain climbing, to see England, and yet, at the same time, I'm so anxious to get back to America, to Chicago, to see my parents again.
Well, we've been gone, let's see, from September to July, so far 10 months. Covered a lot of miles. Frankly, I'm just a little travel weary myself.
But what value? How much I've learned in the past 10 months. How much has been decided.
I know. I'll never feel the same about missions again. The appeals and stories from returning missionaries will have lost that hard-to-be-a-part-of quality.
Exactly. The world all seems to be one whole thing for me now. What happens in China or India means something to me. I hope someday to mean something to them.
I thank God for this trip, Bill.
So do I. For this trip and for everything we've seen and heard. Well, up a mountain, and a look through England, and home. See what I can do to prepare to come right back.
And so we conclude Chapter 10 of This One Thing I Do, the story of William Borden. This is another in the series, Stories of Great Christians, and comes to you from the radio studios of the Moody Bible Institute in Chicago.
That seems a little bit odd. Why leave in the first place if you're going to be there and you want to come right back? Pretty expensive back then, 1905, to travel around the world. You would think, hey, why not just settle down, right? Oh well, we're going to find out what happens in Chapter 11. Tune in, and I look forward to seeing you then, Lord willing. Till then, the Lord bless. Adios. Have a wonderful night.